throughout those years. But very glad to be a part of the organization. And currently, I am the ring chair. And we've also got some other ring leaders on here today. Lori, who is our vice chair with CSR. I'm not sure if she's made it on yet or not, but she's been my right-hand person, really helping in a lot of the meetings and events and things like that. I'll let Ron introduce himself in just a little bit, but Tracy, also one of our MBEC vice chairs, and you'll probably know her for her great sauces and rubs. And if you don't know her, you need to get some of that because that's some awesome stuff. So we obviously have a lot of new faces, and I'm not all that great with names. So I tell you what, I know I've got several of you on video. So if you are kind of new today and want to just kind of wave, and maybe I'll call on you and you can give us a quick introduction. So Josh, let's start with you. Make sure you take, if you can mute now and then unmute when it's your turn to speak, that'll help. Thank you.
Putting me on the spot first thing in the morning. My name is Josh Royal. I am the founder of Aventus. We are a outsourced BPO call center for directed consumer brands.
Awesome, great.
Kelly with me here. She's a CEO of my company.
Hi, nice to meet everyone. Thanks for the intro, Josh. Saved me. It's a little earlier here than there. I'm in San Diego, so it's 6 a.m.
Woo, bright and early this morning.
I'm guessing I have everyone on this call beat on time zone, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, thank y'all for joining. Who else is new? Jim, why don't we go ahead?
Yes, thanks. My name is Jim Canada. I work for Phase 3 Marketing and Communications here in Charlotte. We are newly certified MBEs as of this year, and we're certified as Corporate Plus members as well this year. So we're excited to learn as much as we can, and this is our first ring meeting, so excited to learn.
Oh, welcome. Thank you for being here. Michelle?
Good morning. It's good to be here. My name is Michelle Isabelle. I am a regional vice president in business development with Brookfield Properties, and we manage shopping malls all over the U.S., including Hawaii. And currently, I am leading a program that will provide opportunities to minority and Black-owned businesses throughout our portfolio. So providing resources such as funding, networking opportunities, just gaining knowledge to run your business. So our goal is to help Black-owned businesses open throughout our portfolio and to become sustainable.
Awesome. That was a great opportunity. Thank you. Who else is new? Adrian.
I'm Adrian Grimes with the South Carolina Research Authority. We are new corporate partners for the Development Council, and I'm excited to learn about the rings. We also, like Isabelle, have grant funding available for minority-owned companies in the tech sector. So I'm just excited to see what you all are doing and hopefully share some information about what we're doing and how we can help some of your companies.
Welcome. Thank you. Anybody else? Even if you're not new to the organization, maybe this is one of your first ring calls and you just want to introduce yourself.
Hey, TJ, it's Steve Charles.
You're not new, but man, I'm glad you're on the call. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, I'm pinch hitting today for Deborah White. I work at Sunoco. I lead our sourcing teams and have recently inherited all the services categories to manage. I've been around about as long as TJ around the CVM SDC for about 15 years now. And I'm also on the national board of directors of the NVBDC, supporting the veteran-owned businesses as well. So happy to be here today and looking forward to getting together face-to-face somewhere sometime soon. Thank you.
Awesome. Great, man. Thanks for being here. Anybody else? And I may not be able to see all hands, so you may have to speak up if you're.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Dan Anderson. My first ring meeting, thanks to Dominique, who's just a fabulous president for the CMSDC. We're an electrical supplier based in Aiken, South Carolina, Chattanooga, Tennessee, and Cincinnati, Ohio. And I'm in the great state of Alabama.
Great, thank you. Anybody else?
Can I say boo to Alabama?
Well, Actually, I'm a Tennessee fan, so I don't say that very often.
Oh man, that's a pretty big rival right there.
Dan, I got.
All right, anybody else?
Hi, my name's Will.
Good morning.
With SCRA along with Adrian. We're colleagues, and I'm an investment manager on behalf of the state of South Carolina to help fuel innovation.
Great, Will. Think I heard somebody else as well?
Good morning. I am Tony Gilliard. I'm out of Charleston, South Carolina. I am a retired international attorney who's launched a Caribbean-inspired canned cocktail line. This is my first Ring meeting, so I'm excited to see what you all do and look forward to participating.
Awesome, great. Yeah, Steve, I saw that background, so.
I did that for Dan. Go Big Orange. There we go.
All right, any other new timers here? Glad to have everybody on.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm
Good
Wayne
morning.
Wilshire. I'm with the Charleston County School District here. I'm a corporate member and has been a member for a couple of years here. I'm excited to be here and to participate and see if I can work on spending some of this district money with some organizations.
There you go. Who else?
Good morning. My name is Christopher Jackson. I'm with Smart Technology. We're a manufacturing company out of Greensboro, North Carolina. We provide injection molding, precision machining, and assembly fabrication. Dominique is the president of my SBC, and it's a pleasure being on Ring today.
Awesome. Glad y'all are all here. Anybody else?
Hi, I'm Latasha Brown, and I am with Spectrum Reach. It's the advertising division of Spectrum. We're across 41 states, including North Carolina, South Carolina, parts of Virginia. So I'm very excited to be here today. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for joining, Latasha. Appreciate that. All right, final call. All right. Well, listen, I want to thank you all for joining. We have these meetings digitally currently right now, once a month, typically this Wednesday of each month. And welcome you to always join. Hopefully we'll be able to at some point kind of morph this into an in-person deal, usually hosted at a corporate site of some sort. We did one at my office prior to COVID, and it had a great turnout. But anyway, I do want to thank you. This is a great way to get to know each other, communicate for corporations and MBEs to be able to see each other face to face. Sometimes I'm traveling, so I'm not always able to join by video, but today I was able to. So I do want to go ahead and switch gears real quick and want to introduce many of you to Ron. So Ron Harvey, he is our MBEC for the MLP Ring. He is with Global Core Strategy Consultings, and Ron basically does a lot in the leadership role. And I was able to participate in one of his Monday morning meetings that he calls Turning Point Leadership Roundtable, actually. And in discussions with Ron, I said, man, this would honestly be a great opportunity. This meeting, this Ring meeting, would be a great opportunity for you to showcase that and show people what you do. So I don't want to take too much from him. So Ron, I'm going to let you kind of just jump on and introduce yourself, the program, and then we're going to let you he's going to actually go through that program with us this morning. And if you could probably give us 5 or 10 minutes at the end here, Ron, to tidy up some other business items, we're just going to kind of let you take over from here.
Appreciate it. Thanks, TJ, and good morning to everybody. Dominique, I see you on there, who's really been, TJ and Dominique, in the leadership for the CVM-SDC has been phenomenal on doing the work that we want to get done in our communities. And so I want to say thanks to all the leadership and all the other people that didn't get to say hi because it's not your first time here with us. Good morning to you as well. We will get around to hearing your voice. Ron Harvey, I'm the Vice President and the Chief Operating Officer for Global Core. And we work in organizations to help create winning cultures through the lens of a leader, which is really all about how do you create a space that people want to be a part of. And so people really are challenged in today's society about creating a culture that people want to work in. That's what we do for a living. What I want to do with you today is something that I do every Monday morning. We've been doing it for about 15 months now with leaders from around the globe. And so I wanted to introduce it to our ring, which is our corporate partners and our MBEs. And it's all about building relationships and building trust. So the question I have for you as we go through today's activity with you, so hopefully you come on camera. It's the new way. We're slowly getting back into going into society and going back into malls and going back into restaurants and starting to go to events, and everybody is ready for it. Until we fully get there, there are going to be some people that's still going to be a little reserved. And so we want to use technology to be able to close the gap of building relationships. So here's a question I have for us as we get started, and I will share screen. Microsoft Teams, because of the way it's set up for today and how people register, I won't be able to do the breakouts, which is the phenomenal piece that I wanted to do. So sorry for that disappointment early, but we'll still do a lot of great work in a main setting as we are today. With that being said, I want to ask a question really, really quick for everyone. And anybody can unmute at any time, and you can raise your hand. TJ, if you're with us, if you see someone's hand raised, and you can do it virtually, or you can raise it on the monitor where we can see you. I can't see everybody's picture. So as Dominique and TJ, if you can see some hands, just kind of help me make sure I don't miss anyone. The question I have for you is, how do you feel today? Like right at this moment, how are you feeling?
Fabulous.
Fabulous. Anybody else?
I'm sore this morning, Ron. I played pickleball till 1 o'clock in the morning. We opened the pickleball court at our country club, so we went crazy last night.
Yeah, you should be sore till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Anybody else? How you feeling?
Ron, I feel outstanding this morning.
Outstanding. Awesome. Anybody else?
I feel excited, Ron.
Excited.
And energized.
Energized. Grateful. I see you guys are using the chat. Thank you. Please feel free to use the chat for those that are still a little bit shy of the camera. Feel free to use the chat. We'll use all means of communicating with you. Anybody else want to jump in and unmute and just tell us how you feeling today?
I feel curious.
Curious. Appreciate it, Jim.
Exhilarated.
Exhilarated. Awesome. Awesome. So as we think about relationships between MBEs and corporate and just working with our client base on both sides, is it important to understand how people are feeling when you're engaged in? I see a lot of head nods. I'm getting a lot of north and south there. So the thumbs up, you can use all of the virtual means. So the thumbs up. How many times have you walked in and no one really checked in? They got right to business. Anybody that ever, people just walked in, and I know we got to get work done, but how many times someone just walked in and went right to business? Yeah, we all kind of have, it's either happened to us or we've done it to some people. And so what our organization talks about and what I do with Monday morning is, are you spending a couple of minutes just checking in? Just pausing briefly, just to check in to make sure that you're making a connection. And here's why I say that is so important for us. It's hard to get stuff done if you don't have a solid connection. How many people got an iPhone? By show of hands, but you can drop it on there, show of hands, drop it in the chat. And so what are they up to? Like an iPhone 12 now? What are they up to? I don't have an iPhone. What are they up to?
12.
Yeah, I think
it's a 12, right?
Yeah.
iPhone 12 costs a lot of money. Phenomenal phone. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
It is. It's a phenomenal device. How good is your phone then?
I'm sorry. The phone is just as good as the person operating it.
Yeah.
Somebody say just as good as the person operating it. So you have the iPhone 12, and let's say all the cell phone towers go out, all the ability to connect to Wi-Fi or to have any way to connect your phone to a source of getting information out. So you lose all connection. How good is that really, really wonderful device at that time?
Not good at all.
Not good at all.
Yeah. And the reason I asked that question for us as leaders, how many times have we lost connection and still tried to transfer data to another person? Anybody ever done it besides me?
Yeah, you just did. You went out. You went out.
You just went out, right, Dominique? Yeah. You didn't really hear it. And so we talk about corporate and we talk about MBEs and we talk about relationships. it is so important to ensure you have 5G connection. How do you make sure that you're actually connected to the person that you want to do business with, that you want to know more about, that you want to be able to move the relationship forward? So every relationship, go back and check your connection. Are you operating with 2G or 5G? And that's for all of us. I mean, my wife and I own the company, but we have to make sure we have good relationships. So we don't necessarily have clients. That's used initially. Everybody we do business with, we call them a partner. Everybody we do business with, it's a partnership because we want a solid connection. So my other question, I'm gonna see if I can share real quick with you so we can dive into some content that I want to use with you this morning. Feel free to answer any questions. Feel free to dive in wherever you want to. But I do want you to remember at the end, I'm going to ask you, what's the one takeaway that you got today that you'll use going forward? So I'm prepping you already. I'm giving you the test already. I'm going to ask at the end for everybody to at least unmute once. Tell us the one thing that you heard today that actually is useful for what you're trying to get done. And I'm not sure what that is, but hopefully I share something with you that'll be useful for you to use throughout the rest of the week. So let me see if I can share. I'm going to share my slide with you.
Here you go. We see it.
Awesome, awesome. So I'm going to share this slide. Let me see if I can put it in a presentation mode so it'll be a little bit easier. Can you guys see it now?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Okay, so great. I'm going to go through this with you. So the goal is just be present with us today, be engaged, and be productive, and do something today on this with us to actually make a difference for others. So let me go through the slide with you. We just did this one. So I'm going to ask this question. As you look at this slide, I'm going to ask each person to go around and unmute. Which question do you want to answer on here? This is all about getting to know you. You can pick any one of the 4 questions. Which one would you like to answer? So tell us who you are, the company you're with, and the question that you're going to answer. Any random selection. So as they raise, I don't see your pictures right now because of my monitor. So Dominic and TJ, I really need you on this one.
I got you.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to start with Christopher. Christopher, you're on mute. I'm gonna go to Dan Anderson. He's not muted. Dan?
What is the question again?
It's on the screen. It's on the screen. So
Okay.
you say something can you see the screen?
Yeah, where do I fall in order with my siblings?
Pick one, whichever one you want, yeah?
Yeah, where do I fall in order with my siblings? I fall 4th.
Awesome, awesome. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, but I'm first in terms of giving.
Christopher, thank you, Dan.
Christopher, I fall, I'm the oldest.
Okay. Thank you. And y'all can pick any one of those questions there. Deb Smith? Deb? Okay. Aisha?
Good morning. This is Aisha Driggers with the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities. I would say I can do the first one. Where were you born? I was born in Columbia, South Carolina, and I love working in the community where I was raised.
Very nice. Welcome. Guy? Elise? Elise? So when I call your name, you have to come off of mute. Greg Watson?
Where were you born? I was born in Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay. Elise? My mic isn't working. She's the youngest. All right. Adrian?
I think I'll take the last one. The greatest thing I've achieved after being deemed infertile, I gave birth to 3 children.
Wow.
Wow.
Nice.
Huge.
Very nice.
Huge.
Thank you. Michelle?
Yes, I was going to say that the greatest thing that I have achieved is actually launching Partner to Empower. So our program to open more Black-owned businesses through our shopping centers.
Outstanding. Thank you. Jim Canada? Jim Canada?
You got it. Which one do I want? How about the greatest challenge growing up? I'll do that. No one's done that yet. I was a small kid, right? I was a late bloomer, so I was short and skinny, and I had to learn how to be funny in order to connect with people, and I had to learn how to build relationships. So my greatest challenge was I was an undersized kid, and that makes for challenges on the playground.
There you go. Thank you very much for sharing. Josh Royal? All righty. Kelly, Stacy?
I'll take the greatest achievement. I definitely think it's being a mother to my daughter. Hands down, best day of my life.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. Kiz?
My greatest challenge was, I'll take the last one. What is one of the greatest challenge things that you have achieved is raising 4 kids and completing college at the same time.
Excellent. Larry? Thank you. Larry?
I'll take the number 3. What was one of the greatest challenges? I grew up in Washington, D.C., and during that time, it's kind of a bad environment, but I think one of my greatest challenges was trying to apply myself to make it out of the environment to become someone, to make something of myself from a positive perspective.
Thank you, Larry. Latasha?
Hi there. I would say where I was born. I'm born and raised in Durham, North Carolina.
Awesome. Very good. I see an LGN guest. I don't know who that is. If you could come off of mute real quick.
This is Lori G. Nipple. I am
Yay.
with Savannah River Nuclear Solutions. Where I fall in order with my siblings, I'm the oldest.
Very good. Thank you so much. Ron, what are you going to share?
Yeah, I think for me, Dominique, I appreciate it. One of the greatest challenges for me growing up was the last of 12 children, little light-skinned dude with green eyes in the Black community, where I had a hard time fitting in because I just looked different from everybody else, was a darker shade than me. So that was a hard challenge, just trying to figure out where I fit in at.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Steve Charles?
Hey, good morning, Steve at Sunoco. I was born in God's country up in Rogersville, Tennessee, in East Tennessee.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Satrina.
I'll take the first one. I was born in Detroit, Michigan and raised.
Very good. Tony Gilliard?
Good morning again, owner of Tipsy Lady Cocktails. I will say the first question, I'm the firstborn child of my parents.
Very good. And I'm going to go, I was the firstborn, the oldest and the youngest until I got older and realized I had 6 other siblings. We're going to go with Tony Franco.
Hey, I was born in Lakeland, Florida.
Very good. Thank you, TJ. And thanks for joining us. TJ Watkins.
I was born in Charleston, South Carolina.
Ooh, Wayne Wilcher. Wayne, you got to come off.
I'm going to take the third question there. My greatest challenge growing up was overcoming the racism in my hometown of Macomb, Mississippi, which at one point made the cover of Time magazine as being the most racist city in America.
Whoa, thank you. And Will Cruz.
Yes, born in Chicago, Illinois, youngest of 4.
Excellent. Debbie, did I get you?
You did not get me. I'm going to take the second one, which is actually the third one. I'm the first, and that was the biggest challenge growing up.
There you go. Thank you. Did I miss anyone? I'm from New York, so I'm real fast, y'all. All right, back to you, Ron.
Appreciate it, Dominique. Thank you for helping me with that. Let me bring this down. So what was the value for anybody that was listening of what was shared? What was the value of making a stronger connection?
It gave you a sense of some of the people that you're talking to on this. Just give you a sense of where they may be from or something of that nature.
Okay. I think it allows us the opportunity to kind of humanize ourselves as, we're business people, but we kind of humanize that portion of us, which is important in the relationship.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you so much, Larry.
Yeah,
anybody
the
else?
best way to make connection with people is to understand more about each person that you're dealing with. So that interesting conversation there and the way that people pick the questions and answer the questions helped a lot, even with those or those you hadn't met at all yet.
Yeah.
Somebody put in the chat that everybody has a story, Ron.
Everybody has a story. No matter who it is, everybody has a story. And how do you get to that story so that way people it's hard to be vulnerable, but if you put stuff on the table that allows people to just be human, the connection gets stronger.
Yep,
So I put
absolutely.
in there to
One
find a
thing
common ground.
you would notice today, like if I was an MBE and I wanted to connect with Sunoco, I know that I don't want to walk up to Steve and hand him a Nick Saban shirt, right?
Yes.
And I mean, I know that it sounds, tongue in cheek a little
Right.
bit, but in all honesty, I do know, hey, if I want to connect with Steve, maybe I talk about Tennessee football because I know something about him beyond Sunoco, right?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, we got to start winning first, though. One of the things that I think is really important is when I walk in a customer's office, I always look at his walls, I look at his surroundings, I look at his desk, and that becomes a common point that I can talk to him about something, where he graduated from, if he has picture of the kids or anything like that. That's my ability to connect with him on some level.
Absolutely, Dan.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And oftentimes we miss that. And if you're looking, like if you come on screen right now, if you look at it, you'll see pictures in the background with people if they don't have a virtual background. And it just depends on the setting. For me, you'll see a flag in the background because my military service is super important to me. You don't see it on my bio, but if you know me, you'll know that about me. And
Yeah.
so what is it that you actually allow people to know about you? There used to be a time for us where all of us, especially depending on how senior you are in your position, they always told us keep your personal life separated from your professional life. And so who you saw out in the public with their family was not who you saw in the office. You literally see two different people because we were working so hard to separate that and not to be so connected to our workforce. Well, with the way the world is shifting now, people want to feel like they know you and you know them. And so that's totally changed from when my grandparents or my parents did it. And I had to make some adjustments on how I lead and how I allow people to connect with me. And so that's really what I want to set the foundation. And I try to do on Monday mornings. As a leader, I'll ask this question. It's not on the slide deck, but I'll ask this question. Since all of us are in leadership roles, somewhere we're playing a leadership role. What is the real definition of leadership? Without Googling it, what would you share with us of your definition, personal for you?
Someone who leads.
Okay.
I'll go. A person has that can inspire others.
Okay. Lead, inspire.
I think the ability to identify the strengths of your team.
Okay. So emotional intelligence to pay attention to what's happening with your team and what to use them.
I would say also it's the ability to act because I guess when you start getting into what's good leadership and great leadership, to me, it's all about making that decision, the ability to act.
Yes. Yes. Leaders have to be decisive because people are watching to see if you can make decisions and be able to recover from. Because sometimes I've made them and it was the best decision at that moment. But when I saw more data and got more information, I realized it wasn't the most effective. But I made the decision because leaders have to make decisions. Even as we deal with COVID, even as we figure out coming back to work, we're still required to make decisions. Even when corporate partners bring MBEs in, there has to be a decision made. MBEs have to make a decision. Michelle is on here and we built a partnership. Decisions have to be made. So people want leaders to make decisions. If you're indecisive, it hurts you as a leader. It actually makes your team frustrated with you. What else? How would you explain leadership?
I would say to show by doing.
Show by doing. Okay, awesome. Anybody else?
Effective listener.
Effective listener. So I'll give y'all activity. Y'all, it's not on the slide again, but I'm really impromptu. Most people know me. I just go with what's in front of us. So listening. I want you to write the word listen down. LISTEN. And then I want you to write right up underneath it the word silent. SILENT. What's unique about those two words?
Same letters.
Same letters.
So if you're going to be effective, whoever shared it with us, to be an effective leader, you have to be a great listener. Not only listening to where you're not talking, listening where you're shutting down your internal thoughts. You ever had someone talking to you, even though you're not speaking, you got a conversation going on in your head and you miss some of what they're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that doesn't work well. I'm married and I know that doesn't work well. So I make sure that I shut down those internal thoughts and those conversations so I can actually be present. I actually be engaged. And so leadership is to be effective. How do you be a good listener to shut down some of your internal thoughts or conversations? Anybody else?
Yeah, I was going to answer that, Ron, too. Also, on the listening point, don't listen to refute.
Yeah. Yes. I'm gonna give you another word. And hopefully, I'm giving you stuff that you actually use. And this is what we do on Monday mornings. And I'm gonna do 2 more things, and I'm gonna wrap it up for us. I'm gonna give you another word to use when you talk about your leadership. And this is for all of us. So, I'm looking at Dan. He's in the center of my screen, and that's why I'm calling on him. But if I wanted to go in and have a conversation with Dan, here's how I always go into that conversation. And I'm gonna give you 2 words that I use. The word heart, if you write that down, heart, H-E-A-R-T. So when I'm going in to make that connection with him, I'm going to make sure I make a personal connection with his emotions. And what I mean by that, cross off the T for me real quick. What word do we have left?
Here.
Here.
Yeah.
Great. So in order to connect to his heart, I'm going to have to hear him. The only way I can hear him, cross off the H.
Here.
It's amazing that the word ear is in the center of heart. And all of us, if we're ever going to lead anyone, we're going to have to touch their heart. No matter what kind of thing you're trying to get done. The minute there's a heart connection, the easier it is to get even the most difficult thing done. If there's a heart connection, if that connection is not there, the easy things become difficult. So when you're trying to get something done, don't go on to manipulate anyone, but go in there to make a real authentic connection with this individual. Hear them out, listen to them carefully, pay attention to what's being said and what's not being said. And I'll give you the second word, and then I'm gonna go to another side. I'm gonna give you the word love, L-O-V-E. I'm giving you some content that I actually present to organizations. So this is a really good freebie for all of us today. The word love, here's how I lead. The word love for me is an acronym, and it stands for listen. The L is listen. The O is observe, which means observe what the person is not saying. If you know them well enough, you'll notice something shifting about them. Observe what's not been said, the nonverbals. That's what the O is. The V is value. Do you actually value the person that's in front of you? It's hard to add value to what you don't value. It becomes very difficult. So if I didn't value Dominique, I couldn't add a lot of value to it. Think about anybody ever owned a hoopty in their life? Besides Ron? Anybody here? I know y'all have made it big time now, right? But anybody ever owned a hoopty? And when you own that hoopty, how many of y'all took it down to the dealer to get the oil change? None of us, right? You change the oil right in your driveway or wherever you can pull over and get it changed at. And then you got a really nice upgraded car and you've been blessed. And now you got a fancy car. You go out and buy you, let's say, what's a nice fancy car? Let's just say a BMW. Now you value that car more. I guarantee you're taking it to the dealership to get oil change. It's hard to add value. I had a hoopty. It was lucky it got washed. And the only time it got washed is when I was going on a date. I made sure at least the outside was clean, and I wanted to make that little ugly car look as great as it can look. So I went in, but I value who I was picking up. I still didn't value the car that much. I just wanted the person to think I took care of my car. It's hard to add value to what you don't value. So do you value these relationships and these people you're talking to? So when I talk to a corporate partner such as a Michelle, do I actually value what she's trying to get done, or am I chasing a check? So the E is empower the person that's in front of you. If you ever ask me how I lead, I use the word love. I'm going to listen, I'm going to observe, I'm going to value who's in front of me, and I'm going to empower them. Because leadership for me is serving those that depend on me the most when they need me the most. Leadership for me at the end of the day, serving those that depend on me the most when they need me the most. So when Dominique says, Ron, I need you for this, she's not calling because she has another option. She said, I actually need you. I say, Dominique, tell me what it is. I'm always working towards a yes. So if you ever do business with Global Core, everybody on our team knows they have to work towards a yes for everybody. Everybody on our entire team, we want to be so great that we don't become invisible for you. We always work towards a yes. So let me give you my last question so I can respect the time so we can do some administrative stuff here. Let me go to another one. I want to go into something a little deeper. Can y'all see the slide? Awesome. What is trust?
Okay. Andrea Johnson, welcome to the call. What is trust to you?
Hi, everyone. Good morning. I've been on audio as well. I'm Andrea Johnson, the owner of DP Sweet Moments Desserts, Daily Professions. But trust to me means being able to, when you place value in someone or something, and you believe that they're going to give that back to you. I believe it's a very strong word, and I think it has to be built over time with consistency and diligence.
Thank you so much.
I don't know.
All right. I'm going to Dan, and then I'm going to Christopher. Dan, what is
I
trust?
think it's a mutual understanding between two entities where they value each other's opinions and thoughts and processes.
Okay.
Dan?
Yes, Christopher.
Yes, trust to me is when you tell someone something that you're trusting that they're going to either say or do what they said they were going to do.
Very good. I'm going to Debbie Hillary Pettigrew and then to Deb Smith. Debbie?
Yes, trust to me is being able to depend on the person that you're putting that trust in. If they say they're going to do it, then you trust that that's what they're going to do each and every time.
Very good. Deb Smith? Need y'all to be ready to come off of mute. Deb Smith? Trust is being honest and sincere, she says. All right, Aisha?
I think trust is all about character.
Thank you. Elise?
I think it's about faith and loyalty and accountability.
Very good. Greg Watson? Greg Watson? Okay.
Dominique, we're going to do 2 more, and then I'm going to change the question.
Okay. Okay, I am going to Lori G.
Mhm. I believe that it is basically, it's to have the confidence and the faith and the hope in something or someone.
Very good. Will Cruz.
Strength.
Very good. Thank you all. All right, Ron.
Thanks, Dominique. Phenomenal. Thanks for the help. That's been very, very helpful for me to get through and pull people in for conversations. And there's a definition out there by Charles Feltman that Brene Brown uses, if you're familiar with Brene Brown. And what it states is trust is making something important to you vulnerable to the actions of others. I love the definition, and you get some pushback on it, but trust is really being vulnerable.
Ron, I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Thank you. Thank you for
Because
sharing.
you put yourself at the mercy of someone else.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes. And here's what I'll tell you before I go to the second question. It's so important for us today, on all of us that's on this platform, if we're going to make CVMSDC really work, regardless of what ring, if we're going to make your corporation work and you're going to bring someone in like me, I have to be trustworthy. The corporation has to be trustworthy. And so I always ask the question is what is it about you that shows that you are trustworthy? I ask everybody on our team, what is it about us that people trust us enough to deal with things that are super important? Because when people bring us in, their reputation is on the line. Their product and their company and their organization and the security of the organization, all the intellectual property is on the line. What is it about Global Core that makes us trustworthy? And so I think we all have to pause and really just reflect sometimes. How am I showing up? And is it helping us make this a better organization or a better community or a better agency or a better team? How do I show up so I'm trustworthy? And sometimes that vulnerability is scary. It is absolutely scary. On our team, there are times when I put people on our team in front of our partners and I'm not even on the call. But I got to be able to trust them because I can't run this company by myself. There's just no way it'll happen and still deliver great product to you. I can't do it. So here's a question. I'm going to move down to the third question. How do you rebuild trust once it's broken?
All right, Tony Franco.
Oh, that's a tough question for me because I don't always give people a chance to rebuild that trust once it's broken.
Thank you for transparency.
But if I were to take that leap of faith and try to rebuild the relationship, it would have to be through open and honest communication and setting basically standards for how the relationship needs to move forward in order for it to be successful.
Very good, very good. TJ Watkins.
So I think rebuilding trust is obviously very difficult once it's been broken. Actually, at a board meeting one time, we had a speaker that came in, a CVM SDC board meeting. We had a speaker that came in years ago, and she said something very interesting. She says it costs you less to retain your trust, your character, and your brand than it will ever cost you to regain it.
Yes.
Very good, very good. Anybody else have a burning response to this question? You want to jump in?
Yeah, if I could here, trust, rebuild trust to me, it's kind of like the old adage, you got to forgive and forget, in order to rebuild trust from my perspective. So, and it goes back to making yourself vulnerable again, so to me, it has to be based on forgiving and forgetting. And that forgiving is easy, but that forgetting part is difficult.
Very good, very good. I see Michelle with her hand up. Thank you very much, Wayne. Michelle?
Yeah, I was going to say that I think you have to acknowledge that there's an issue, or that you are part of an issue, and then go from there. Start from the beginning, again, listen, observe, value that person, empower, and go through those steps that Ron just described. But a lot of times people are not willing to acknowledge that there is something that is broken, or that they're the cause of something being broken, and then being able to move forward from there.
Very good. Ron, you have 2 minutes left.
Okay. Appreciate it. Thanks, Dominique. Thank y'all for sharing the information. And I wanted to walk to two things today. One is allowing us the create the space for us to start really getting to know each other, because if we're going to do business, that's important. And then start talking about how do we build that relationship, and it starts with trust. And so my last slide I'll bring up for you is, building stronger relationships is what this is about, so we can create stronger partnerships. That's what all of our reading meetings are about. And that's from MBE to MBE, from corporate to corporate, and from corporate to MBE. The only way we're going to build stronger partnerships to make this work is we got to build stronger relationships. And so that's what we do every single day. And here's what I want to leave you with. Thank you for joining us. Please remember and honor Memorial Day is coming up on Monday. I'll teach everybody something on here real quick. Do not tell anyone to have a happy Memorial Day, because it's a sad occasion. Tell them thank you for serving. And on Veterans Day, you can wish a happy Veterans Day. But on Memorial Day, it's about memorializing someone they lost. So please don't say have a happy Memorial Day. Dominique and TJ, I'll turn it back over to you.
Hey, Ron, I want to thank you very much for running us through that. I do want to point everyone to the chat. I put a link in the chat that takes you to Ron's website, specifically the Monday morning meeting event that you can sign up for. Ron, correct me if I'm wrong. My understanding is that Monday morning meeting is free and available to anybody who signs up. It is a great way to get to know Ron. His technology with Zoom allows him to do breakouts. So you come into a larger group, you do some things, you go into breakouts, you come back in. So I'd encourage everybody to participate in that. And then, of course, you can see his other services and other events that Ron hosts that you can sign up for, and he can give you more information on. So Ron, thank you for taking us through that. We were in a very compressed time period for Ron, asking him to do it so quickly. But thank you for trying to get through that and getting it all situated. So Lori was able to join us, and she talked a couple of times. And I said, Lori, thank you. Again, she's our vice chair for the MLP. And what I'm going to do now, I guess, Dominique, I'm going to turn it over to you and let you walk through some of the CVM SDC items, and you can go through your staff.
Okay, excellent. Do you want me to introduce the speakers too, TJ? We have two speakers for it. Yeah. Okay. You went mute. Okay. All right. So as we, I'm going to unpin you. Debbie, can you unpin Ron, please? So I want to give a real life example as I go into the two speakers to close out what Ron said about relationships. And so this meeting is, as TJ calls it, a small church group. It's like I call it the small boardroom table. You're coming around the boardroom table to interact and meet with those people that you want to do business with. I connected Dan and Wayne Wiltshire via email last week, right? But they may not have had a meeting yet, right? But now they're at the same boardroom table together, interacting in a different way at this level. And so now they have a different connection point. So this is a prime example of how the connections you make become personalized at the ring level, all right? So with that, I want to introduce two guests that we have today. I'm going to start out with Latasha Brown, who has 2 minutes to share her opportunity with you. She's from Spectrum Reach, a corporate partner with an outstanding opportunity that she wants to share. So Latasha, you still there?
Yes, I am here.
You have it.
All right.
You.
Thank you, Dominique. Thank you, everyone, and thanks for adding me to the agenda today. Spectrum Reach, we do have a very special program that I wanted to introduce to you all. So if you give me a minute, I will share my screen with you. Are you seeing my screen?
I'm seeing me.
Are you seeing anything else?
No, I just see me. That's weird. There it is. There it is. It's there.
Okay, great. We have a program that we have recently launched called Pay It Forward. And just a little bit of background about Spectrum before I get into this so that you can kind of understand the connection. Spectrum Reach, we are the advertising division of Spectrum. So you may know of Spectrum as the cable installation company, the company that provides your internet service as well as your phone services. But in terms of Spectrum Reach, they are our parent, and we help businesses, whether they are local, regional, or national, be able to market themselves through the Spectrum resources that are available. We consider ourselves premium video marketing experts. And so with our access to all kinds of data and the Spectrum resources, again, that is how we help businesses make those connections across our footprint. We also have a creative agency called Kernel, and Kernel is they're that entity within our company that can create commercials, whether they're short form, whether they're long form, training videos. If you are doing some sort of campaign on social media or radio, we can make sure that that content has a 360-degree angle in terms of how that message is communicated. We have the ability not only to market on cable television networks, but also through networks on demand. So let's just say, for example, it's the Food Network. You would be able to market through the Food Network channel, the Food Network on demand, the Food Network online, as well as the Food Network streaming app. And so that is how we bring businesses together to be able to reach their customers and surround their message with those customers. So within our Pay It Forward program, Spectrum Reach has pledged $15 million to support minority-owned businesses across the country. Within this program, selected businesses who have registered into the program, there will be like a random selection, and I'm very grateful to Dominique for being able to partner with Spectrum Reach on this, where we will be able to offer up to 5 opportunities for businesses to be able to get an advertising schedule within a 3-month period. The value of that advertising schedule is $15,000. The schedule will run between July and September of this year. If those businesses have a commercial, that's great, or some sort of 30-second video, that is great. We can incorporate that and the marketing. But if they don't, then we are providing through our Waymark service a 30-second video. That video not only could be used for commercial purposes, but it could also be used on social media, on their website, email marketing, however that particular business owner chooses to use it, because they, at the end of the day, will own that video. In addition, part of the program also means getting mentoring and support from our teams. And so there'll be tips and resources and whatnot that we will share with individuals as we're getting to know them, getting to know their goals, and how we are going to be able to shape and make recommendations on how they can best market their business. They'll also include access to a speaker series, as well as other industry leaders and local market experts with various programs that we will put on throughout the year. When you go to the website, the landing page that we have for registration, towards the bottom, it will indicate that the cutoff date is May 31st. However, we've been able to get the program extended for registration through June 13th.
All right.
There are some general qualifiers into the program that includes making sure that a business is brand new to the program and to our company, making sure that those individuals are within our footprint and not a competitor, making sure that they are a for-profit organization, and that they are not a part of any restricted categories such as weapons or alcohol and what have you. We need to be careful about ads that will end up getting placed for political or national purposes. And also in terms of agencies, we'll have to go through a couple of other different reviews to be able to make that happen. But for the most part, this is a very open program, and we are encouraging all of you and the MBAs to be able to apply.
Thank you so much for this information. We're going to have to cut to our next speaker, but I appreciate the information. For y'all, I always say you have to be at the table to eat. And so for those who are not here listening to this information, you'd be missing it. So thank you so much, Ms. Brown, for sharing this information. We're excited. $15,000 is huge. A professional commercial on television through the cable network is tremendous, and it could mean volumes for your business. So thank you so much for that. Next up, I want to introduce Michelle Isabelle from Brookfield Properties. Michelle has hired Ron, and you can see why, to do all of her marketing and development work to get minorities into their malls. So Michelle, are you ready to come forward and just give us 2 minutes, a 2-minute overview?
Absolutely, absolutely. So as I had stated before, our goal is to open more Black-owned and minority businesses throughout our portfolio. And we've started in the Southeast region in 2021. That includes both North and South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, and Louisiana. And we're providing funding to help Black-owned businesses to open their stores, but that's only one piece of it. One of the most important and exciting pieces to me is a retail workshop that we've actually partnered with Global Core to facilitate for us, or to actually design and implement for us. And in that workshop, it's a 4-week period where we have industry professionals, bankers, attorneys, accountants, marketing experts, advertising experts, et cetera, facilitating learning modules, if you will, to help these young brands become more sustainable. So it's not just enough to give somebody $5,000 or $50,000 or even $150,000 to open their businesses. If they don't know what to do with it, then it makes no sense to give them that money. So that's what our retail workshop will provide. And then after that, we plan to stick with them along the way, at least through the first year at a minimum, to make sure that we're touching base with them 4 months, 6 months, 8 months into their after they open, to make sure that they're following their business plans, make sure that they're not running into problems that they can't dig themselves out of. And then wanting them to grow with us, whether they grow throughout our portfolio or grow with our competitors, that's fine. But we want to make sure that they're able to grow, able to expand. And if their dream is to franchise one day, we want to make sure that we assist them with that. So, you know, our goal this year, our program is called Partner to Empower. Our goal is to open 20 to 25 stores this year in this region. If we open 30 or 50, I'm happy about that too. But our goal overall over the next 5 years is to open a minimum of 250 stores nationwide. As I said earlier, we manage shopping centers all over the country, including Hawaii. And I'm hoping to be able to go back to our CEO and ask him for more than 25 million, which is what he awarded me.
Outstanding. What an opportunity. And Debbie has dropped in the chat the link for you to apply for the program. I encourage you to do that, and also to think outside the box. It's not just a clothing store. It's not just a food vendor. It could be a doctor's office. It can be an insurance office. So it can be a consulting office. So you can just think outside the box about how you can get into different malls. Thank you so much, Michelle, for bringing us that opportunity. And
Thanks.
sorry, we have to rush you along, but we need to be mindful of the time. So Larry, you have 1 minute, and I know that's almost impossible for you. Do you have anything to share in terms of an update with corporate partners?
Yeah, just real quick here. We have we've already mentioned heard from Spectrum Beach already about their Lunch and Learn, and Greg is working with that right there. Same thing with SCRA. More details to follow. We had very success in the matchmaking event last week. A lot of MBs had a chance to connect with corporate partners, which is awesome. And the last thing is, sponsorship. BOC is coming pretty soon, right around the corner, and we're looking forward to it. And that took me 36 seconds.
You did it. Debbie, you're up. Debbie, anything?
Oh, wow. Okay, of course. BOC is coming, everyone. Is everyone excited about BOC? I hope so, that you've saved the date, August 2nd and 3rd, growing from millions to billions. I'm so excited about this program that we have for you guys. We've got some great lineups to be speaking to you and some great workshops. So look forward to some more information coming soon in June.
All right. Thank you so much. Be sure to look for in your newsletter, in your email every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the newsletters. All the details are there. And Satrina, anything from you very quickly? You got 30 seconds. Satrina is preparing our live and silent auction, and so there will be a competition again for this event between the different rings for the auction. So back to you, TJ. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank y'all again for everybody jumping on the call. I hope you found some value today, made some new connections between the MBEs and our corporations. I want to thank Ron again. Thank you for taking us through that. Again, point you to the link in the chat where you can go to his website, see how to sign up for that. Get signed up for BOC. I'm going to hit that again for the staff there. So don't wait to the last minute. Get signed up today. If you can do something with the auction or anything like that, there's ways for you to participate in BOC. So you need to participate. That's where your value is. So get signed up. Next, I believe, is our next meeting is June 23rd. I think that's that Wednesday. So put that on your calendar. Hope to see everybody back here again. And I hope you all have a wonderful day today. And we will be talking to y'all soon. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you so much. 10 o'clock and we're out. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank y'all for joining us. Ron, great job.